going on, guys? Victor here from Dexter Outdoors. I got a funky looking fish right here. This is, in Florida, it's known as a lookdown. A lot of people call it a moonfish. These are very plentiful throughout the state, and a lot of people don't know that these are edible, and they actually have quite a bit of meat on them. If you guys look at this, it looks like a fish that you'd have no idea how to clean or would even think would be good to eat, but it's actually really delicious. And I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to clean it. So the first thing we're going to do is, these fish have extremely thin skin, and it's almost impossible to skin them like a normal fish, like a snapper. So what you got to do is take your fingers and you're going to feel right here around the head. They have a good amount of head meat, and where the soft part ends, start your outline. We're going to go very superficially just into the skin. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to follow around this fish, around this pectoral fin, and right here they have a really big rib cage where there's not much meat. So watch my knife go down, 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 and then I'm aiming to be right here at its anal fin, right about there. That's where my knife is, because this, there's nothing here. This is all rib cage and bone and its guts. So we got that part of the outline. Now I'm just going to take the tip of my knife, and something that could be easier to use would be a razor blade, something that gives you dexterity, but we're just going to outline the very edge of our fish, because all we want to do with this process is to be able to pull the skin off. So I want to make sure that I have my complete outline. Now what you're going to be able to do is the skin from the top half of the head, start to peel it back. It's going to come off real easy at first, and it's going to start to get kind of tough. I just use my hands, but you can certainly use a pair of pliers or something like this. This is just a little piece of sandpaper. You can grab the fish's skin and just start to peel it back. Now you're going to notice that there's this clear saran-like film that's coming up. You're not going to get this skin off. I never am able to get it all the way off, but that part is completely edible. It's just this part that's kind of stringy and fibrous that you really want to get off of your fish and fillet. And sometimes it breaks towards the end of the tail, but you just gotta muscle it out. So once we have all of that off, this right here is so thin it cooks out, you don't even notice it. Now the reason I didn't take the fillet off is if you try to take the fillet off and take the skin like I just did with the fillet off, it would just rip. You don't want to do that. So same thing on this side. Follow the soft part of the head meat, follow it around. We're going to swivel our fish and aim to hit this anal fin right here. Go straight down, okay? We swivel our fish again, outline the very outside of his body, and this is really where a little razor blade or something would come in handy, but you can use the tip of your knife. Just make sure it's something sharp, and I'm just wanting to cut the skin, and that's it. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Start to peel it back. I'll show you guys that you're also able to do it with your hand. You can kind of take a few wraps, use your thumb, and see that one came off much easier. I recommend leaving them in a cooler overnight because it's going to make that process a lot easier. For some reason that thin layer becomes looser on the skin and it's not as firmly attached. So now we got our fish outlined. Now you got to just fillet it like a regular fish. This is a 6-inch Fisherman's Flex Dexter. You guys can find it linked below. I like to start here right on the head, put my knife on the spine, and just kind of work all the way down until I get to the backbone. You definitely don't want a big, bulky, or stiff knife when doing this. You need a nice, soft, flexible knife. And I'm just going to do this until I get to the backbone. Okay? See that good amount of head meat there? We're going to fold up. Now we got to break through the little pin bones. They don't have very many, but you got to break through the pin bones. The pin bones always attach a fish's fillet to the backbone right there. Okay? Now we're just going to finish out our fillet on the bottom half. Use the flex of that knife. You really want to make sure your knife is flush, and you guys can see there's nothing left there. So, I mean, If I had never filleted this fish before, I'd be extremely intimidated by it because you don't really know where to start. If I saw it, I would have never known, you know, you gotta go around the head and like that. But that's what these videos are here to teach you guys. So now, with this fillet, I'm gonna set it over here. We're gonna knock off the other side. I'm gonna start over here by the tail this time. And just really make sure, I'm gonna swivel the camera around. Just really make sure, since they're very thin fillets, you don't wanna miss. So you really gotta make sure you're on the fish's spine. That's why I really recommend a nice little flexible knife. The smaller the knife and the more flexible, the more forgiving your knife is gonna be. The bigger and stiffer, the more aggressive your cuts are gonna be. And this requires a lot of dexterity and patience, you know? So right there on the other side of the backbone. And just continue to peel it back. And that's it. So the cool thing about this fish is, since you take that skin off while it's still on, now all you have left are the pin bones, which this is the head half of the fillet, okay? They run about halfway down the length along the bloodline, along the center line. Take your knife on one side, take your knife on the other side, pull it up, and you can use tweezers. It's just a lot more tedious and I don't have them with me. But that's where the pin bones lie. So now you got your boneless, semi-skinless, Lookdown fillets. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like these videos, if you find them helpful, give the video a like, comment below what you guys want to see next, subscribe if you haven't already, and then this is our 6-inch Fisherman's Flex, which you guys can find linked below in the description box of the video. Till the next one, see ya.